Hello, everybody. This is Joy KahNah, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about twin flames, and as you could tell from the title of this video, the overall message today is that the twin flame journey, as much as we really want to master it and understand every single detail of what's going on and just figure it out so that we can finally come into union, the twin flame journey really cannot be understood with the logical mind. And I say this as somebody who has been working within the twin flame community now for 5 years, and as somebody who has been in a union with my own twin flame for about the same amount of time, and as somebody who has, at different points, especially earlier on in this twin flame journey, as somebody who really struggled to try to figure it out and really crack the code with my logical mind. And what inspired me to make this short video today is just the fact that, right now as I'm recording this, it's Mercury retrograde, and I have gotten just bombarded from people with emails that have just said, Maya, I just don't understand, what is it? Is it true that you can only have one twin flame? Is it true that you have multiple twin flames? Is it true that you need to balance your masculine and feminine to come into union? Or is it just true that you need to perfect your intuition before you come into union? Or does that really not even matter? Are twin flames even true at all? Or is it just an illusion? Or I just get all of these questions, and people are just trying to know, what's true? And they're trying to understand, what is going on with my twin flame journey. And we all wish that there was just a set of rules that we could just master, that was going to apply to everybody, and that would get everybody into union. And what I think we need to understand is that there is no such set of rules, and if there so happens to be such a set of rules, no one has figured it out. Because to be honest, if any twin flame teacher had the magic formula, or who had all the truth that was going to work for everyone, then that twin flame teacher would be, so well known by everybody, and everyone would take their advice, and guess what? Every single person would be in union. But the truth of the matter is that not only is there no magic formula to get into union, there really isn't one that's going to work for everyone, and there is no set of rules, that we're not even able to comprehend what really is taking place. So even if there was some sort of divine set of rules, we would never be able to access that set of rules from our logical mind. Because, you guys, the twin flame journey has nothing to do with the mind. It has nothing to do with our brains. We don't even need our brains in order, of course, to even experience the twin flame journey, because ultimately, fundamentally, it comes from the soul. And I think with any truly profound spiritual experience, a lot of you know I'm very interested in studying near-death accounts in the higher realms. Whenever somebody has a really profound spiritual experience, you'll often hear them say something along the lines of, "It was amazing, but I just can't put it into words." And I think the same sort of sentiment applies for twin flames. It's when we get closest to the truth about twin flames, I think, when we're most in touch with the true essence of the journey, is usually right at the beginning. It's usually right at the beginning. I know for myself, when I first encountered my twin flame in the physical, the first time I ever saw him, it was just in a picture. And yet, in that moment, I'm getting chills now just thinking back on it. In that moment, it was I felt just sparkles of electricity run down through my entire body. And it was I became electrified. And it was for the very first time, I was alive. It was I took my first breath in a way. Everything before that had been, not real, that I hadn't been really fully animated. It was a new part of me came to life that had been sort of sleeping within me. And it was in that moment, it happened, the awareness that, yes, this is the person, this is my beloved, this is my twin flame, this is the person that I'm going to be with. That awareness came faster than the speed of light. It came faster than a thought could even enter your mind. It was my whole being knew. immediately, more than immediately, faster than immediately. And there was a part of me, even now, as you guys can hear, as I tried to describe it, it's very hard to put it into words, but there was this intense recognition. And in that moment, it was like I knew that everything in my life made sense. I knew that everything I had been through, all the relationship struggles that I had been through and challenges and everything that I had faced in my life was leading me to that moment. And there was a feeling, there was a knowingness that transcended all understanding, really. That's something I hear a lot in church when they're talking about the Bible. I was raised in a really religious context, and the pastor would always say, it's the peace that transcends understanding. In a way, I get what they're talking about because of, ironically, because of the twin flame journey, because there's a part of you that just knows. You just know things. You don't know how you know them. When it comes to what you know on your twin flame journey, I mean, most of what you come to know profoundly, you know through experience, not through what you listened to in a YouTube video or what you read in an article. And I'm not speaking out against twin flame videos and twin flame articles. If you look on my channel, when I was younger, I made a lot of twin flame videos myself, and, people tell me that they help, and I know that they do help to a certain degree. But what we really need to succeed in the twin flame journey is we need to surrender to the knowingness that just is. At some point in time, you've got to stop looking at the lists of signs and symptoms and trying to figure out, does that sign really match this person? Is this really my twin flame? And at some point in time, you've got to surrender to the part of you that just knows and doesn't need to know how you know. And when it comes to approaching the twin flame journey, if you try to approach it from a mental standpoint, there is a good chance that you might go mad, because, you're going to find that whatever you want to believe about twin flames, somebody has said it. And so it can be easy to fall into mental illusions or delusions. And really, I think that's true for any concept anymore that is on the internet. It's the same way with health or politics or anything. Like, whatever you want to believe, you'll find somebody who's teaching about it on the internet. And so in that way, trying to understand, trying to grasp the twin flame journey from that mental perspective can really lead you into circles. One day you're wanting to believe, yes, twin flames are, real, and we all only have one, and so you'll find that. And then the next day, maybe you meet somebody different, that you like a little bit better. Maybe they're less triggering than your twin flame, so you want to believe, okay, maybe we have more, so you can go out there and you can find that. But ultimately, a lot of time can go by without really progressing that much on your soul journey. And so what I want to encourage everybody to do today is to try for a while, especially if you're feeling really frustrated or feeling really confused. Try to approach this journey from your heart and from your soul, and really try letting go of the need to understand what is taking place. I'll tell you right now that, I'm married to my twin flame, and whenever we spend time together, a lot of times we do, admittedly, we are analytical, and we do try to, quote unquote, figure out what is happening here, what is happening. There's always the sense that, something mystical is happening. There's always this, spiritual energy around us, and there's always this feeling of divine presence, and there's always this feeling that, things are occurring for a higher reason. Always, always, always. If there's one thing that we've learned, it's that we have no control over what is occurring. There's a definite element of destiny in our union. And yet, we can spend, and sometimes we do just because we're bored, but we could spend an entire day, we could spend an entire week trying to figure out, how did we get here? How did we come together? What is happening between the two of us? Because there's always this sense that things are trying to balance between the two of us, or that, you know what I mean? There's all this spiritual stuff that's going on in the background. And then usually when we do try to figure it out, at the end of the day, we just feel exhausted, and we kind of feel further away from the truth than we were when we first started out. And so I think that one of the best things that we can do when we're feeling confused is just go within and just surrender to that peace. and feel also at the same time, I think we can try to feel gratitude for the fact that there is a higher part of our being that is leading in this journey, and that part of us, that higher part of us, knows so much more than our mind, and that higher part of us, our higher self, but also, our guides and our angels and a higher power are leading this journey. And all we really have to do is just show up in our heart, and at any given moment, trust where our heart and soul is guiding us, and to just go in that direction without our mind needing to just thrash and just to control and understand, but why am I doing this? We don't need to know why. We need to trust. The twin flame journey is a journey back to yourself. It's a journey back to your heart. It's literally the journey to unite once again with your soul. And the way to navigate it is to step back, to turn the mind, the mental chatter down a little bit, and to start to quiet enough that you can begin to feel. It's not really a hearing, but it's more of a feeling the impulse of where your soul is guiding you. And usually your soul and the way it's guiding you, it's going to feel like love, and it's going to feel like peace. And sometimes your mind always wants to do something. I want to do this, or I want to do that to get into union. A lot of times your soul is just going to encourage you to just be. Just be. The last thing in this modern age that we ever want to do is just wait, But a lot of times our soul just wants us to learn to be present, and wants us to just take some time to just be there in the moment and get in touch with our own soul energy and things like that. And so, I've definitely made a lot of mistakes on my twin flame journey, but I think that what has worked really well for me is I never ever got caught up in what other twin flame teachers were teaching, and I still don't. And I'll have, on any given day, I usually have at least a couple people that will send me some sort of twin flame book or article or video or something, and I've got to be honest with you guys and tell you I don't watch or read any of them. I'm not interested in what anyone has to say about twin flames. Why would I be? I believe that every twin flame journey is unique to that particular twin flame set, and that your twin flame journey is going to give you exactly what you need. Do you know what I mean? This is incredibly profound, and of course I can't describe how profound it is because it cannot be fully explained. But it's like these journeys, every single moment, every tiny little bit of it is exactly what you need for your soul evolution and growth. And it's absolutely perfect for you, but how could we ever expect anyone besides ourselves? How could we even expect ourselves to grasp that, Our human consciousness is too limited to fully understand the expansiveness of our soul, to even grasp but a little bit of it. I think our minds, our brains are simply not wired for that. Our human brains are wired to keep our bodies surviving here in the material dimension, but they're not wired to grasp the comprehensive, timeless nature of our soul, right? Or our twin flame journey. So I know it can be frustrating, and I know it can be confusing, and I know that even the information, our minds can get addicted to that. No, I just got to keep trying to learn, and I'll finally figure it out. But what if there was nothing to figure out? What if the key to succeeding on the twin flame journey was letting go of the need to understand it and just showing up fully to experience it? Because in a way, I really do feel that approach can offer us more richness than the approach of running around, with chickens with our heads cut off trying to figure it out. You guys, this journey, the twin flame journey, it cannot be figured out. Okay? It cannot be figured out. It can never be figured out. Not from the mental standpoint. It can only be experienced from the heart and soul. And let me just be the person that says today what I think that we all need to hear, which is that you already know, your soul already knows everything that you need in order to succeed on your twin flame journey. And your heart already knows the pathway to reunion. All we have to do is step back from our mind's desire to control and really, and it just takes a little practice, really allow ourselves to be led by our heart and soul. So if you love watching and learning about twin flames, that's really cool, but just always keep in mind that you already know that what you need to approach your journey is already inside of you, and that the true understanding of this journey is so far beyond the comprehension of our mind. That it's so far, and we should be grateful for that, and we all should be grateful that we're even on this journey, because it is such an honor and a pleasure to be able to, well, in the midst of this material dimension, to be able to actually stand face to face with that reflection of our own being. And I know it's hard, and the journey is challenging, and it pulls us to our absolute limits, and yet we are so lucky to be pulled to our limits. We are so lucky to be stretched in this way, and I just don't even know. In this moment, I just feel so overcome with gratitude for the fact that all of us that are on this twin flame journey, that we're not alone here in this material dimension, that we're here with our highest match. We're here with our beloved. We're here with that part of ourself, and there's something that goes beyond words that exists in the feeling of sitting in silence next to your own soul there in another body. And that peace and that love that is there in that silence is something that is beautiful enough that it doesn't need, it's so beautiful that it quiets the mind, I would say. It's beautiful enough that it doesn't need to be explained. It just simply needs to be allowed. So anyway, you guys, that's my little message for today. I hope that somewhere within here there's some wisdom that can help you to surrender here on your twin flame journey and find the peace and find the wisdom that transcends your mind. So I send you guys all my love and well wishes for your journey ahead. Have a wonderful day, and namaste.